Okay, so I just had an incident. Nothing like major. Uh, I was delivering an order, and I got to the intersection when I was getting ready to turn right onto the customer's street, and some asshat decides to slam on his brakes, which of course caused me to slam on my brakes, which in turn made my hot bag flip off my seat upside down onto the floor. Now, sometimes this wouldn't be an issue, and I've had it happen probably once or twice, nothing major, with like burgers and fries or, McDonald's, something stupid like that. This happened to be Mexican food, so like enchiladas, rice, sauce, lots of sauce. And as soon as I could, I pulled over because it was kind of a hilly road, and I had to pull over when I could. And I reached down to grab it, and I had queso all over my fingers. So I had to get out of my car, pick it up, and realize that one of the bags leaked. Luckily, the weird thing was I had a hot dog boat from Circle K on my floor, and it happened to land right on top of it. So most of that sauce went into the hot dog boat. So I was like, my floor's good, which I got a all-weather floor mats. I'm going to recommend make sure you have all-weather floor mats, whether you're doing regular Uber rides or you're doing food deliveries or whatever. They're just good to have in general. Anywho, so I got a boat to throw away when I can find a trash can. Then I got to spray off my floor mats, and I'm good to go with that. However, so first thing I did, this was an Uber Eats order, by the way. First thing I did was I called Uber as I pulled in the customer's driveway. And of course, those of you that do Uber Eats know that it's like playing Simon Says or whatever, something hard to get a hold of somebody there. Push this button, push that button, wait for them to go through all their stupid options, hit 0, then answer all these questions and fucking Trivial Pursuit to get a hold of a damn agent. Anyway, so I'm sitting in the guy's driveway, and I get a hold of Uber, and I explain what happened. I said, exactly what I just told you guys. What happened? She goes, I'm like, what's the procedure here? Because I've never had this happen with you guys before. She's like, I'm like, do I call the restaurant, have them remake it? Do you guys call the customer? Let them know what happened. What do we do here? And you know what she told me? She's like, well, at this point, we're just going to have to cancel the order and refund the customer's money. I'm like, what? I'm like, I don't even know what's messed up on this because I haven't opened the bag to see what's going on. And I'm not going to do that until I talk to the customer, see what he wants to do, which is what I assumed you guys would be doing or instructing me to do. She goes, no, we just have to cancel the order. I'm like, no, that's terrible customer service. I'm like, this happened under my watch, first of all. I had the food in my car. It's not my fault, but things happen. It's just like at the restaurant when a server, walks around the corner and some jerk-off's not texting on his phone, trying to go to the bathroom around the corner, and then, boom, drops all the food. It's not the customer's fault. It's really not the server's fault either, but they remake the food for whoever it was. They don't just say, oh, I'm sorry, we dropped your food on the floor, so you have to go now. We'll refund you for whatever you've paid for so far. Or we won't charge you for whatever you paid. It's just stupid. I literally told him, like, that's stupid. I'm like, I'll tell you what, don't cancel the order. This happened this is my fault. Well, it's not my fault, but it happened under me while I had the food. So I will go talk to the customer. I will see what he wants to do, and then I will call the restaurant and have him remake whatever needs to be remade. If that's the whole order, that's the whole order, and that I need to pay for it, I will pay for it. Because, unfortunately, I'm an independent contractor. I don't work for Uber. I can't really expect Uber to pay for something that happened under, that's under my watch. I work for myself. I don't work for Uber. If I worked for Uber, then I would say they would have to pay for it. But I'm like, this is my fault. I will take care of it. So I go up to the door. And I say, hey, sorry to bother you. I'm your Uber Eats driver. And I explained to him what happened. He goes, well, let me see. Maybe just some of the sauce that got out. I'm like, I haven't opened anything because I'm not really allowed to go through the bags. He goes, hold on a second. He grabs the bag. He looks at it. He takes it inside. About a minute later, he comes out and he goes, you know what? We're all good. All it was the queso sauce, and we usually have a lot of it left over anyway, and we end up throwing it away. So there's still plenty in there. It's all good. You're good to go. I said, are you sure? I will go get whatever I need to from the restaurant and bring it right back. He goes, no, you're perfectly fine. Not going to affect your tip. I really appreciate you offering to do that. We're good. I'm like, we're all good. Thank you very much. Have a great day. And I left. So I'm not going to call Uber Eats back because I already gave the one girl an earful about that. But it just goes to show you that just showing that you give a shit about the customer who's tipping you very well, because it was a pretty decent tip for where it was. I mean, it wasn't like anything major. It was like a $5-6. No, it was a good tip. It was a $6-7 tip, and the total trip from where I was to the restaurant to the customer was 3.7 miles. And I was about a mile and a half away from the restaurant in the first place. So he wasn't super far away. So yeah, it was a damn good tip for what it was. So I'm going to reiterate this. I've said this in videos before, but do the right thing. All right. It may not be your fault, but you're the one getting paid for the delivery by Uber, by Grubhub, by DoorDash, by Postmates, by ShipIt, by Amazon Flex, whatever the hell the delivery is for. You're getting paid for it, okay, to do that job. And on top of it, for most of these, at least the food deliveries, you are getting tipped if, you're getting a tip on it. All right, even if you're not getting a tip, you're still getting paid for the delivery. If you accepted that delivery with or without a tip, you are getting paid to do that. This is no different than you getting paid an hourly wage at a W-2 job. All right, you have to do your job. You have to complete your job. You just can't say, oh, not my fault. And if that's your attitude, that's probably why you are doing this, okay? You're not doing it because you thought this might be a good way to be your own boss and make some good money. You're probably doing it because you are unemployable, if that's the attitude that you have. And I'm sorry, I'm having a kind of a crappy day. I'm not making the money I want to make. It's a slow day, and it's probably because it's really nice out. It's the first really, really nice day. It's not super windy. It's about 80 degrees. It is a beautiful, beautiful day today, and I shouldn't be pissed off. And I've made plenty of money the past few weeks, plenty of money. I could just take the day off. It is not going to affect my finances one bit, so I shouldn't be pissed off. But anyway, if I'm out and I'm not making where I want to be, which is about around $25 an hour right now. And yeah, $25 an hour. So if I'm not making around that, at least $20 an hour, then I'm not having a good day. So I'm kind of frustrated, and then that just happened, and it frustrated me even more. So the main point of this story is to do the right thing. If something happens to the food, or if you forget something that's legit your fault, you forgot. I mean, even if it's not, if something's missing in the bag and it's not a super long trip, go back and get it, or if you brought the wrong food, there was one day, the other day, I took they gave me 3 boxes at Donato's. All right. I didn't check the sizes, my fault, but they gave me 3 boxes. It was a 3-item thing. I dropped it off. He texted me, said, hey, this isn't the right food. We ordered a plain pizza and whatever else it was, and they gave me something with pickles on it, that's disgusting. Who puts pickles on pizza? So anyway, And I called DoorDash, and of course DoorDash said, well, that's not your fault, that's what they gave you. And I called Donato's, and Donato said he's already called here and we're actually sending it out ourselves. So just so you know, I got a 4-star on that one, by the way. It dropped me from 5 to 4.99, so I'm not really complaining about it. However, I didn't step up and just say I would go back for it, which I should have, because it wasn't straight highway, but it was close enough. But it wasn't my fault, okay? That wasn't my fault. That was the restaurant's fault. I'm not allowed to open the items to make sure, but I don't know what I might have missed if I would have looked at the order. Okay, it might have been the wrong size pizzas that they gave me. Whatever. So I'm not saying I'm Mr. Perfect. Obviously, I'm not, because in that situation, I didn't do the exact right thing. But the next day, I did. You bet your ass, I did. Something was missing, and I went back and got it. And it was like a $2-3 tipper, I think. And I took the 25-30 minutes to go back and get what I forgot that I thought was in the bag. Okay, it was a KFC order, and they had 2 half-gallon whatever their weird Mountain Dew have, Sweet Lightning or something like that. And I asked if the drinks were in the bag, and of course their I don't care about anybody attitude they have at KFC walked away. And I kind of squeezed the bottom of the bag, and it felt like there was a liquid container in there. So I said, okay, and I walked away. He texted me. I said, I can go back and get it. He goes, if you would, I'd appreciate it. So I did, because it was the right thing to do. Customers tip you to do a good job, to do your job properly. They don't tip you because you just deserve it. That's not how a tip works. You don't deserve a tip, you earn a tip. So if you decide you're taking orders with tips on them, very good tips on there, and you're like, oh, that's just how it is, that's what they gave me, then you're an asshole. Just saying. So, again, long story short, after I made it long, like I always do, if you watch my videos, you know damn well I ramble about shit all the time. So anyway, the long story short is, do the right thing. If something happens in your car like that, or you forget something, or whatever it is, fix it, or at least offer to fix it. Usually just the offer to fix it will yield the result that you kind of want, which is you don't have to fix it. In that case, I was more than happy to. I don't. Either way, it's nice that I didn't have to go back and get it and waste my time. But there was a day I forgot drinks. They're like, do you have any drinks? I said, I don't think so. It just said 2 items, and I looked. It was 2 meals, and there was drinks on it. It was an Outback, or whatever they call that, Tender Shack. I didn't see the drinks underneath I just saw tender meal. I didn't see drinks. I didn't read the instructions underneath the order. And I said, you want me to go back and get them? She goes, no, it's fine. I said, are you sure? It's about 5-10 minutes away. I can go back and get them if you want them. It's my fault. I forgot. I didn't double check to make sure they were there. She says, no, it's fine. And I'm like, okay. But I made sure I offered to do it. So do the right thing. Do your job. You get paid to do something. Do it properly. All right. That's how we're all going to keep this job. This has become pretty much the standard now because of COVID. That I even heard on the news also that it's just become the norm because people got used to it. It's not going away. So if you want it to continue to be profitable, because it has been for me, then you need to make sure you are taking care of these customers like the restaurant would, because you represent, even though you're an independent contractor, and 90% of these customers know this by now, you represent the service that you're doing, and you represent the restaurant. You have to ensure that that product gets to the customer properly. Yeah. So if you want that customer to continue to tip, get their food in a timely fashion, make sure it's right side up, not leaking. Make sure they have everything that you can check possibly. Like I said, if they made their burger with pickles on it and they said no pickles, that's not your fault. You can't do anything about that. But if there's missing an item, that's on you. Yeah. So customers tip for good service. So as long as they continue to get good service, they will continue to tip well. All right. The ones that don't tip, they're not going to tip. So if you take those, God bless you for it. But the only way to get them to tip here, that's the thing. That's what I wanted to say with that one. You might not be able to turn a non-tipper into a tipper, but you sure as hell can turn a tipper into a non-tipper just by making everybody else look bad. All right. They have a bad experience with DoorDash, a DoorDash driver, then they might not tip their next driver. They might decide to do cash next time. And if they do that, they might not get the order for a while because most drivers will turn that down because it's a $3 order. And then, it took too long. Now the food's cold. Well, DoorDash drivers suck. So next time, they're just not going to tip, period. So, like I said, you'll be lucky to turn a non-tipper into a tipper, but it's very easy to turn a tipper into a non-tipper. So keep that in mind when you do your deliveries and something gets messed up. Whether it be your fault, somebody else's fault, the restaurant's fault, whatever. That's all.